Hello, welcome to the City of New Haven Health Department Tobacco and Smoking Product Retail Licensure and Inspection Overview Program. My name is Brian Wennick. I'm the Director of Environmental Health for the City of New Haven. I'm the director that oversees the Environmental Health Program with the inspectors that will be performing these inspection services. So we felt that it was important to present about this before the program is implemented on October 1st of this year. So I just wanted to provide a basic overview of what we'll be talking about today. We have 7 key points that we're going to be going through. First one being that why are we licensing and inspecting tobacco and smoking product retailers? Then we'll get into the definitions of what a smoke shop or a tobacco retailer is, and also what a tobacco and smoking products are, what is included in that category. So 2 things. One are going to be smoke shops, and the other one will be the tobacco retailers. And then we'll also talk about what are tobacco and smoking products. Third, we'll talk about what needs to be licensed and how to apply for your license, including what the annual fees are. We'll then talk about inspection frequencies and what to inspect while the inspections are occurring, including reviewing what the inspection form is. We'll then go through what happens if we do find violations at the time of the inspection. We'll then get into where to learn about more information and how to contact us as far as gaining more information and more knowledge regarding this program. And lastly, we'll provide for a question and answer period. So why are we licensing and inspecting tobacco and smoking product retailers? The main reason is to protect public health by licensing all tobacco and smoking product retailers that are operating within New Haven. But also important is that we want to make sure that we limit the access of youth tobacco and vaping products within our city. We want to ensure that smoke shops follow all health, safety, and zoning rules, and we want to have an accurate documentation of the number of retailers that operate within New Haven. How do we accomplish this? We're going to be enforcing both city ordinances and also state of Connecticut laws and regulations. Is New Haven the only city that's going to be doing programs like this? No, there are many other cities in the state that are already doing tobacco and smoking product retail licensure. Some of those cities include Stamford, Westport, Milford, West Haven, and Bridgeport. So, what is a retailer of tobacco and smoking products? This is the category that most of the shops within New Haven will be fitting into. So, a retailer of tobacco and smoking products includes any retailer whose business involves the sale of tobacco and/or smoking products. Then what are tobacco and smoking products? Well, these can include tobacco, obviously, cigarettes, cigars, smokeless tobacco, including dips and chewing tobacco, rolling papers, smoking papers, bongs, hookahs, e-cigarettes, or vaping devices. So it's a non-inclusive list, but these hit a lot of the high categories for examples of what tobacco and smoking products are. What is not included within tobacco and smoking products? And those are any drugs, devices, or combination of products that are authorized for the sale as a tobacco or smoking product cessation product, which is approved by the U.S. Department of the Food and Drug Administration, as those terms that are defined within the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Such items include patches, gums, lozenges, inhalers, nasal sprays, and any other prescription medication. So these would be things that are not included as tobacco and smoking products. So who in New Haven needs to license as a tobacco and smoking product retailer? Well, any existing tobacco and smoking product retailer can operate up to September 30th of 2025. And any new product, tobacco and smoking product retailer that had come into existence has until October 1st, 2025 to license. So basically, if you're a new retailer, you need to license with us. And if you're an existing retailer, you would also need to license with us by the deadlines that are listed. So, how do we apply for a tobacco and smoking product retail license? We tried to make it as simple as possible. We list the application and the processes right on our website, which is listed on your screen. It's nhvhealth.org/tobacco. And all the information for the local license and any other information that we're going to be disseminating regarding this will be listed right on that website. So there's a lot of really good information that's on there, but this is a great way to log on to actually see your application, see the application process. You can actually do the application right through there and have no issues. So what is the annual cost of the license? Well, the annual fee is $150. The fee that is the fee currently. This fee can change based on what the budget, the city budget updates are per year. But as of right now, it is a $150 license fee, and this license fee can be either be paid by certified bank check or money order. We ask that if you are going to be paying, when you're going to be paying for these for your license, that you come to our office at 424 Chapel Street in New Haven and drop off either the certified bank check or money order to the person that's at the front desk, and make sure you get a receipt for that. You can mail it in, but it's highly discouraged to do that. I'm a little concerned with people mailing things in as to how the mail can be at times, and we want to make sure that we receive these before the deadline of October 1st. So please, I stress, make some time, come down to our office at 424 Chapel Street in New Haven, and drop off the certified bank check or money order and get the receipt saying that you had paid. This should be done after you've already applied for your license. So please do the application process first and then come down and paid for it. And we're normally here from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So how often will your tobacco retailers be inspected? Tobacco and smoking product retailers will be inspected at least annually. However, if other circumstances come up, there will maybe other times where we'll do another inspection. Some of those instances could be if a complaint is filed regarding a specific establishment, or if there's a public health concern that we're made aware of, or if there's a follow-up inspection that will be needed based on violations that were found during the initial inspection of the facility. And for inspections like that, there is a $100 re-inspection fee that will be assessed for this. And then we'll discuss this a little bit later in a little bit more detail. So I want to take this opportunity to kind of go through the tobacco and smoking product retail license inspection form. Okay. The inspection form is broken down into four major categories, as you can see on your screen. What I want to do is I want to take this opportunity to kind of go through them a little bit more in detail so that you understand what everything is as far as what we're going to be requiring at the time of the inspection. So in the first section, you'll see licensing requirements, making sure that you have a valid New Haven tobacco and smoking product retail license, and that you've paid for it, and also that you have a valid license with the state of Connecticut, whether it be a tobacco dealer's license through the Department of Revenue Services, or a vape license or electronic cigarette license through the Department of Consumer Protection. Both of these licenses, the New Haven license and also any state of Connecticut licenses, should really be posted in a conspicuous place so that people can see them when they're in your store. So if there are any questions, people can check to make sure that you are licensed and that everything is up to par on that. The next section talks about product sale compliance, and within that section, we want to really highlight a lot of what we're targeting when we're doing this program. And the big things in this section will include no sales to anybody under the age of 21. That can be accomplished by having your employees check government issued IDs, government issued photo IDs, to ensure that the person's age does equate to them being over the age of 21. So while the inspectors are out there, they'll be observing to make sure that nobody is being sold tobacco under the age of 21, and that your employees, your store clerks, are also checking IDs. Now, there is something in the ordinance that says all IDs shall be checked unless the person appears to be over the age of 30. However, that is not a legal defense to say that you don't have to check ID. So I want to stress to everybody during this webinar, and we'll probably stress it along as we get into the program, that clerks at the store or agents at the store really should be checking everybody's ID that's coming in to purchase any tobacco products to ensure that they are of compliance. They're of a legal age in order to purchase the product. There should also be signage in the store that indicates that no tobacco products can be purchased under the age of 21. And obviously, there shall be no what we call loosey sales. So a lot of times, stores will open up a pack of cigarettes or other products, and they'll sell them loose. That is illegal. That cannot happen. So there shall be no loosey sales in your store. In the third section, we talk about the physical environment and signage. Any tobacco or smoking products shall be stored out of the customer's reach. Customers should not be able to touch any products or anything that's related to smoking products while in the store. There shall also be signage posted. And I know we talked about signage in the second section, but this is also a place where signage is really important. There are two main signs that we want to make sure are posted within your establishment. The first sign should say, and it'll state this on the website, a sign that says the sale of tobacco, smoking, or nicotine products to a person under the 21 is prohibited. And the second sign shall say the premise is not authorized to sell cannabis products. So two different signs. Each sign should have 1-inch lettering and shall be posted in both English and Spanish, and also any other languages that are spoken in the area by the staff. But primarily, we want to make sure that we have English and Spanish signage in your establishments and such. And that just reminds consumers, and it also reminds the employees that one, no sales to anybody under the age of 21 for any tobacco products, and two, that the sale of cannabis products is not authorized in that establishment. Also, in this section, we talk about no advertising that violates local or state signage laws. So one of the big things about this is that your advertising should be as minimal as possible. Also, any signage that faces the public area. So when we did this webinar the other day, we were talking about signage that sometimes that's provided by companies to your establishment to advertise products. Sometimes they are in color. Unfortunately, under the ordinance, no advertising that will be seen by the public from a public space, from an outside space, can be in color. It has to be in what we call tombstone advertising, which is black and white. So it's really important that when you have advertising, that you really minimize the amount that's in the public space that people can see without entering your shop. Now, once they're in your shop, anything that cannot be seen through the window is okay. So if you are advertising products and such, and it cannot be seen from outside, that is okay. And that's to discourage underage product sales and such. Right? Also, no product should be placed in the windows. I know sometimes shops like to put different devices and such that are in the windows. Those should not be there. Again, that can be seen from the public space. So you want to put those back away from the area where it cannot be seen. In the next section, or sorry, also kind of backing up onto this section, you want to make sure that your establishment is being clean and maintained daily. There should be no tobacco litter, no vape products, litter, and things like that. So you want to make sure that everything is in good working order and such. Okay. In the next section, prohibited practices. We want to make sure that there's no smoking or vaping occurring within the storefront or within any other public places associated to the store. So if the store, say, has a little vestibule in the front, there should be no smoking in that little vestibule or such. Also, there is a Connecticut state law that mandates there's no smoking within 25 feet of a doorway. So make sure that maybe you put some signage up that says please stay at least 25 feet away from the door when smoking, or you as the store owner will be encouraging people that are outside that may be smoking or vaping within, in front of your establishment. You discourage them doing that by telling them about it and such. Um, Additionally, I have not seen these in years, but it's something that we definitely included within the ordinance. There shall be no vending machine sales for cigarettes or other tobacco products unless you only serve clientele that's 21 years or older. So such as if you have a bar that is only 21 and over, you are allowed that. But I am not, like I said, I am not familiar with any operation that is still doing that. As a matter of fact, I believe the last vending machine I had seen was several years ago, but no vending machine sales. Okay. Also, there's no free samples of products, any tobacco products. I know some of the companies may provide them to you to hand out to customers and such, to have them try and such. There are no distribution of any free tobacco products, and no sale of any products that are not already approved for the sale. So you can't utilize some technology that you heard from somebody that has not been already approved by the proper regulatory agencies. And this kind of overviews what we just went through, the major areas: the licensure, the sale compliance, no underage sales, the physical setup, the signage, and the prohibited practices. So no free samples, no selling of cannabis without proper licensure from the proper state and federal agencies and such. Okay. So what happens if a violation is actually found during the inspection? So if an establishment is found to be in violation of an ordinance, the inspector will note the violation on the inspection report. Violations will be expected to be corrected on site while in the inspector's presence. Okay, and if violations cannot be corrected on site, a second inspection will need to be conducted, and $100 reinspection fee will be applied to the retail licensure individual. So the person who took out the license, so the licensee. Okay. Repeat violations of any of this ordinance, of any sections of this ordinance, may lead to licensure suspension or even revocation or fines. Okay. So just continuing on, what happens if there is a violation? So a fine, if a violation is found, a violation will be assessed to your establishment. So we have a three-tier system, so a three strikes you're out system on violations. The first violation, the health department will issue a fine or a ticket to you for $150. On a second violation within a 36 months, so within a 3-year period, the health department shall impose a $500 fine or the maximum allowed by state statute and your tobacco and retail licensure license from the health department will be suspended for 7 calendar days. So on the second violation, not only are you getting hit with a $500 fine, but you're also losing your license to sell smoking and tobacco products for a 7 calendar day period. If a third violation occurs within a 36-month period, again, the health department will be assessing a fine. This fine will be $1,000 or the maximum allowed by state statute, and the retailer will have their tobacco and smoking product license revoked. Okay. Hopefully, we will not be seeing any of these violations having to be issued. That is my goal. That is my hope, I should say. We're hoping to get out to as many tobacco and smoking product retailers as we can to kind of inform them about the program and kind of see if there are any questions and such. But as we're going out and as we're speaking about the program, we are kind of informing individuals about the tier system for the violations and such. So my hope is that this information will get out and hopefully will discourage any behaviors that may result in these. In addition to the fines and violations, the retailer will also receive a written order from the Director of Health outlining what the violations were or are, and that will be issued within 7 days of the inspection. Okay. If a retailer if a retailer's license is suspended or revoked, all tobacco and smoking products must be removed from the premises almost immediately. For every day that the products remain on site, there's a fine of $1,000. So if your tobacco and smoking product license is either revoked or suspended, you need to remove the tobacco and smoking products immediately, or you're going to face a $1,000 fine per day. Okay. In addition to all the violations that I kind of talked about before, with the fines and the order letters and such, in addition, a referral will also be sent to city agencies and also state agencies. So, for instance, a referral will be sent to the chief of police for New Haven for follow-up and consideration during the establishment's license renewal period. Also, depending upon what license you have, whether you have a DRS license or if you have a DCP, so DRS Department of Revenue Services, or DCP is Department of Consumer Protection, depending upon what agency, you may have both. In a case like that, we will refer to both agencies so that they're aware of the violation that occurred and that they can either have follow-up or they can use this for consideration during the establishment's renewal of either their tobacco dealer license or their electronic nicotine delivery system or vape product license. So again, my hope is that people understand, that establishments understand the severity of violations and such, and my hope is that we won't have to use these systems, but know that the systems are in place and will be utilized if needed. How can we help? Our information is listed on the slide right now. The City of New Haven Health Department. We're the Environmental Health Division. You can reach us at 203-946-8174 or at our email address, environmentalhealth@newhavenct.onmicrosoft.com. So again, environmental health altogether at newhavenct.onmicrosoft altogether.com. That's our email address. Please, if you have any questions or concerns, please email us, phone us. They'll put you in contact with an inspector or anybody that can help to answer any questions that you have. We would rather receive questions before the program goes into place on October 1st and be able to help you guys alleviate any stress that this may cause and such, than have to go and issue violations and such. So we're here to help. A lot of places have already taken us up on this offer. We get questions a lot, and we're able to kind of help and at least give guidance and such. And if you need help on filling out the application for your tobacco and retailer license, we're going to be having some webinars coming up in the next couple we're gonna have some office hours. I'm sorry, coming up in the next couple weeks, where you can actually sit down with one of the inspectors, and we'll help you kind of fill out the application and such, and we'll give you some guidance on that. So again, where can you learn more? Go to the nhvhealth.org/tobacco. That's our website. You can join us for the in-person office hours to get the support. And you can register right at the same website that I had listed before, the nhvhealth.org /tobacco. The English session for these office hours that I was discussing, one will be on Tuesday, September 9th. The other one will be on Wednesday, September 17th, and they'll be from 2 to 4 p.m. Right over at our office at 424 Chapel. I encourage you, if you know, try filling out yourself. If you do have any problems, feel free to come to one of the sessions, or give us a call. If unfortunately you can't make these sessions, give us a call and we may be able to have an inspector help you with it at another time that will meet up with their schedule and such. So please utilize whatever we can do. We're here to help. We're here to answer any questions. And I can't stress that enough. I want to keep repeating that. We're here to help.